Hey everyone, today we are discussing the 5 reasons that I love living here in the state of Maryland. I am not a born and raised East Coast Marylander. I was born and raised in Southern California. So this is coming from someone who has not lived here their entire life. And hopefully this will give you a better idea of if this is an area that you will like, if it's something that you can handle, or maybe not. So if that is the kind of information you're looking for, let's get started right now. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Living in Maryland channel where we discuss all things living here in the great state of Maryland. So if that's the kind of information you are looking for, you are definitely in the right spot. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can be made aware of the new videos that we do here on the channel each and every week. And if you are thinking about moving here to the state of Maryland, if you're wondering whether purchasing a home here in the area is the right decision for you and your family, please feel free to reach out anytime. We absolutely love helping out in any way we can, whether it's just answering questions, concerns you may have about the market, or specific locations, and just kind of helping you feel most comfortable with your transition here. However you feel most comfortable reaching out, we would absolutely love to hear from you. And days, nights, and weekends, we've got your back. We're moving here to the great state of Maryland. All right, so first reason why I love living here in the state of Maryland is it's more affordable than where I came from. So I know that that's not going to be a blanket statement for the entire country. I speak to a lot of people coming from the middle of the country or down south, and they are surprised at how expensive it is up here. But for some of us, including myself, I came from Southern California, the general greater LA area, and the cost of living is just, it's nuts. So coming here to Maryland, it was actually more affordable. We got, more space as far as land size, and then more home for a more affordable price. So that's definitely something that I was excited about, and something that I have really enjoyed over the years that we've lived here. We've been here for 7 years. We came from Southern California. My wife was born and raised here. We lived there for a few, and when I say there, we lived out in Southern California for a few years before coming back here to her neck of the woods. So for us, that was something that we really enjoyed, and I know that there's a lot of people that we've helped from Northern California, the San Francisco area, on up the northwest part of the country, and then also New York and parts of the Northeast, where people are surprised at how affordable it is down here compared to where they're coming from in regards to property taxes and overall sales price. So it's something to consider depending on what part of the country you're coming from, and it's going to be different for everyone, but for us it was definitely something that we enjoyed as far as getting more for your money out here in the area. And then I feel like I had to mention the price of gas just because of how crazy things are right now. I remember coming here 7 years ago. It was crazy. A gallon of gas was $1.98. It was under $2. It was so cheap, so affordable. It's $4.25 today. But still, when you compare that to other parts of the country and where I come from in Southern California, I'm always texting my brother and a buddy, hey, what's gas out there? They're paying almost $6 a gallon, which is just crazy. And I know it's even a little more in some parts of California. But so for us, even some of that, just seeing some of the affordability of the gas and just compared to other parts of the country is something that's nice. So with gas prices being so high right now, I figured I would mention that kind of where we're at. Let me know what you're paying and what part of the country you're at. I'm always curious to see what people are paying. I know California is always going to be on the high end, and I'm always shocked about how crazy it is out there. But we're paying roughly $4.25 right now. That's been our peak. Hopefully it'll start going down, but currently that's where we're sitting. All right, number 2 is going to be how doable the traffic is out here. Now, I do want to specify for different parts of Maryland. We live in Howard County, Maryland, so we're in what's referred to as Central Maryland, in between Baltimore and DC. And when you're in this central part of Maryland, the traffic is really not too bad. Of course, you're going to have your rush hour slowdowns and things of that nature. But throughout most of the day, on the weekends, the traffic moves very, very well. And that's something that I was just thrilled about coming here. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't really think about it a whole lot. But coming from Southern California, dealing with 405, 105, 91, oh my goodness, it was just a nightmare. And it seemed like traffic was there 7 days a week, and that it just really didn't stop. And I know it's still like that from people that I talk to back home. So when you're coming to this part, and I know a lot of folks are coming here working in Central Maryland, whether it's at Fort Meade, NSA, for all the government and all the government contracting work that we have here in the area. If you're in the central part, in between DC and Baltimore, traffic is very doable. It moves very well. So this is something that, has been a huge benefit for us. It's cutting back on the amount of time that I'm spending in a car driving, which just means I get to be at home more with my wife and my kid, which is something that's awesome. So if you're commuting into Baltimore, into DC, and you're dealing with either of those beltways, DC's beltway is 495, Baltimore's beltway is 695, you're going to want to expect traffic out there. It's definitely going to be more of that city vibe, and you're going to see a lot more of that traffic. But if you're in between, which a lot of people are, there's a lot of people in between Baltimore and DC in the Central Maryland region. It's very, very doable and not too bad. So something to kind of get excited about, depending on where you're coming from, because traffic is very, very doable here. Third reason that I love living here in Maryland is the great economy that we have and the foundation of our economy. So especially moving forward with everything that we have going on with the debt and everything that we're dealing with as a country, this is something that kind of gives me a little bit of peace of mind. So Maryland is the wealthiest state in the country by household income. So we've got a median household income of $85,000 a year here. And the foundation of our economy is really built on the government work and the government contracting work that we have here. The next two biggest really opportunities for work here is healthcare, and then tech is really making a big boom in the greater Baltimore area. So something that is huge here in the area. If you're looking for work, there is absolutely no shortage. Now, when we look back and kind of study a little bit of recent history in 2008, the great financial crisis, Maryland did not take as much of a hit as other parts around the country. So that's something that just kind of makes me feel a little better. There's parts of the country that went down in regards to housing 50-60%. Maryland on average went down about 20%. So with that kind of foundation of our economy and all the steady work that we have here, people just didn't get hit as hard. So that's something that's kind of nice about the area too, and something to keep in mind is just how steady and consistent our economy is here in Maryland. All right, number 4 is going to be the style of homes here in Maryland. And I know that probably sounds silly to a lot of people, but for me, coming from Southern California, I don't know, there was just so many cookie cutter neighborhoods. You just kind of have homes that all look alike with the stucco, and everything seemed to be so similar, especially with the part that we were in. It was such a high growth area, so everything was kind of on the newer side, and everything looked so similar. So to come here to Maryland, where you have such an older part of the state, where you've got a lot of older homes, you do have some new homes, but not near the amount as other expanding areas around the country. Seeing all the colonials, the ranchers, the split levels, having that diversity in homes and kind of the options, and seeing all the mature trees through the neighborhoods. I don't know, that was something that I kind of really fell in love with. So something that I really enjoyed, especially as an outsider coming from Southern California. And then to kind of piggyback on that is having the opportunity for some space too. So even within the county, as I mentioned, we live in Howard County, specifically Ellicott City within Howard County, is we're so close to the city. It's very suburban here, but if you want very little yard space, you have opportunity for that. If you want a half acre to 3/4 of an acre, there's plenty of opportunity for that. So we've got just over a half acre that backs up to some woods. So we just have it feels like so much space, and there's so much of that opportunity here within Central Maryland. Even though it's highly developed, you have all those opportunity because so much of it is not new, where they're kind of stacking homes on top of each other. You have so many of these communities that are from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, where they just didn't stack them so close and on top of each other like they do today. So you have those opportunities for space, even within 20 to 30 minutes from the city, to where you kind of have that feeling of not having neighbors stacked on top of you. But if you don't want that kind of maintenance, if you don't want that yard space, you've got those newer communities where the homes are very close to each other as well. So just, I guess, the opportunity for space if you want it without having to be so far out. You don't have to go out an hour just to have 3/4 of an acre. That can be kind of right here in the suburbs within Central Maryland. So that's something that's cool about the area as well. All right, and number 5 is going to be getting to experience all 4 seasons. So again, for me, coming from where I came from, we didn't get to see this. We surely didn't have snow or winters or anything like this. We had to drive 3 hours up to Big Bear, up into the mountains, which was cool. It's 7,000 feet. You could snow and ski and do kind of all that stuff and experience winter. but again, you really had to drive, and that was a very specific part of the region. So here, getting to experience the first couple snows, they get kind of boring after that, kind of a pain to deal with after that, but getting to experience fall and spring, those are our favorite times of the year where we get to get out and do hiking, and it's not extreme in one way or the other. So that's something that we love, seeing the trees change, seeing the leaves change, and just getting to experience all of that is something that we really enjoy. Then if you're worried about the winters, you don't have to be too worried. Maryland is pretty nice when it comes to that. It's fairly mild. We do get some snow each year. It's something that you're going to want to expect, but more times than not, it's a few inches that's gone within 24 to 48 hours. Maryland just doesn't seem to stay too cold long enough. So a lot of times those winter days are going to rise up above 40 degrees into the lower mid 40s, and that snow is just not going to stick around long enough. So that's something you can be prepared for and expect, but it's not like we're getting multiple 2 to 3 foot snowstorms each year. That's just has not been my experience. For the 7 years that we've been here, we've had one major snowstorm, 3.5 feet. In the several years that we've been here, and the others have just been very doable, whether it's several inches, and that doesn't stick around too long. So and then in regards to summer does get very hot. A lot of those summer days, especially as you approach August and September, are going to get into the low and mid 90s. The mosquitoes and some of the bugs are definitely present, so you do kind of get a little bit of that southern feel. So it's something that you want to expect as well. We have a screened-in porch in our new home. That's been worth every single penny, to be able to spend time outside where you can kind of keep those bugs away from you. So that's something that you definitely see a lot here in Maryland, something that you may want to consider if you're coming here to the area. All right, everyone, thanks so much for watching. I hope you learned something new. If you ever need anything at all, please feel free to reach out, and we'll see you at the next video.